Yeah, I mean, seriously, I have to be honest with you. I didn't fully hear exactly what he was saying. I can't hear it in my ear. But essentially, I'm sure this is something that could likely be brought up when court starts up at 9:30 this morning. Remember, prosecutors have already said they believe Trump has violated the gag order 7 more times. That was after the initial time they brought it before the judge, saying that they wanted to fine Trump for 3 different social media posts, and they wanted to fine him $1,000 each for those posts. And the judge rather said that he would take that up at a hearing on Tuesday. So let's see what they bring up on Tuesday. Let's see what they bring up in court when it gets started at 9:30 this morning, anything that he did just say outside of that courtroom. Certainly the gag order is a major issue for these prosecutors. We know that at the end of court yesterday, Trump's defense team essentially said, hey, listen, we want to know the order of the witnesses that you're going to start with once this trial gets going. And the prosecution said no, because they don't believe that Trump will not go on social media and talk about these witnesses. So it's very possible that the public doesn't know, Trump's defense team doesn't know the order of these witnesses. Of course, they know the witness list, just not the order. And the judge agreed with the prosecution with this request that the prosecution essentially made. So the gag order is a major issue. But again, we'll see if it comes up when court gets started in not too long from now, 25 minutes.
Okay. Bryn, thank you so much. I think when you look at this case in particular, can you just give us a sense of where we are right now? Because we do have the 12 jurors. What is left before we believe there may be opening statements on Monday?
Yeah, so there's a couple things left. Essentially, they need to find more alternates. There is one alternate. It's unclear how much the judge wants. Initially, he said 6, but it's possible they don't need that many. But that is the objective for today, at least for this morning, is to find those alternate jurors. We know that there are 22 jurors that are going to come forward and essentially go through that 42 questionnaire as they search for these extra alternates. Now, remember, each side, the defense and the prosecution, had 10 strikes when it came to the jurors. What we're understanding is when it comes to the alternates, both sides actually have 2 strikes for each alternate, for each person they're questioning for these positions. So it is expected to not take too long. They do think that they will wrap this up before the lunch break. And then into the afternoon, it's possible, the judge said, they'll get into what is called a Sandoval hearing. And essentially what that is figuring out exactly what of Trump's legal history can be addressed if Donald Trump takes the witness stand. We know from a previous filing the prosecution has said that they would like to get into the verdicts from his civil case, also the defamation case with E. Jean Carroll, and some other cases. So this will also be discussed possibly today, according to the judge. And then if that is all done, then possibly we will be seeing opening statements on Monday, guys.
All right, let's see what happens. First and foremost, right now, as they're heading into court, Bryn is standing by for us. Bryn, thank you so much. Let's bring in CNN legal analyst Ellie Honig on this. So Donald Trump speaks. Donald Trump, as you heard, Ellie, he went off about the gag order, saying that the gag order has to be lifted. He's facing a lot of questions and is going to face a hearing about did he cross the line and how much next week. What do you think of this extra element that we've learned of prosecutors saying they don't want to say who their first witnesses could be because of what Donald Trump could do?
So, Kate, that's an example of one way where Donald Trump could actually suffer a meaningful consequence of violating the gag order, because prosecutors, as we've been discussing, they now allege that Donald Trump in his social media posts has violated the gag order 10 times. And it looks like they're right in most or all of those allegations. The problem, though, is one of enforcement and discipline. All that the law allows the judge to do is either A, impose fines, but under the New York law that the DA cited, only a maximum of $1,000 per incident. That's not going to matter to Donald Trump. And then the other option is to lock him up, which I think is very unrealistic and I just don't think is realistically in play here. Now, the thing for Donald Trump, though, where he's suffering is now the DA is refusing to give over to the defense lawyers the order of witnesses. And that's a big deal, because if you're Donald Trump's team, you head into this weekend, you've seen their witness list, but there's dozens of names on that list. You need to prepare for whoever you're going to be cross-examining potentially on Monday or Tuesday. And if the DA's office is unwilling to give you the order and the judge is unwilling to make them give you the order because they don't want Trump tweeting about him, then Donald Trump is sort of leaving his own lawyers adrift. So there's a real consequence to that.
Ellie Honig, thanks for jumping on, Ellie. Bryn is outside court. We're going to be following it as court's about to get underway. In just a few moments, we'll be bringing you up.